All right, so we've all been there, struggling to sell your flowers, but today I want to talk to you about where we sell our flowers and how we sell all the flowers that we grow. So, as you've seen, we grow a decent amount of flowers here. We have beds that are 4 foot by 16 foot. We have quite a few beds. I think it's like 22 beds or so. See them all. There's a lot there that's actually uncut at the moment, but we're out cutting today. We got that. Right here is our the sunflower section. We succession plant all the sunflowers. And then right now, this time of year, late September, this is our dahlia section. So let's talk about where we sell our flowers. We started just selling roadside, and we have found that to be quite difficult. We live on a busy road with lots of traffic. We expected people to stop frequently and buy lots of flowers, and that just simply never happened. Through talking to lots of different people who flower farm, they would all say that they agree. That's not really the case. You have to kind of drive those sales, drive people to your farm by your social media activities and just getting people interested in the farm itself. So just because you throw a farm stand up at the end of the driveway doesn't mean anyone's going to be stopping. So we sell a few at our farm stand still. Our Facebook page at the moment has about 1,000 people who like it, which is seems like a decent amount, but I'm always working on that. And admittedly, we're not that great at it. My wife does a lot of work and does a pretty good job, but there's room for improvement there for sure. But a couple years ago, we got our first decent flower gig, which was um, with a local restaurant, one of the nicer restaurants in our small town area. And they have 24 tables. So every single week, we take them 24 bouquets. And we have explored that with a couple other restaurants. We haven't pursued it too aggressively, but we've been with this particular restaurant for, I think it's 4 years now, and that has been great. It's nice to just be able to rely on the income, and I've always said to my wife that I like cutting and making bouquets and knowing that the flowers are sold. I've never enjoyed cutting for the roadside, hoping they sell. And so this way, with the restaurant, was our first taste of that regular income. Um, Last year, we made a couple more contacts and have grown the relationships this year for a couple different places. One is a large farm stand in the area. It's a very established large farm, but they are in on a busy road in town. It's like a farmer's market always, but there's not vendors there selling their own stuff. It's kind of all aggregated, sold to the main person who runs the place for a certain amount, and then just in exchange for getting paid for what you bring in. So we bring them bouquets pretty regularly, and they're just paying us outright for the bouquets when we bring them in. It's not that great. We've had a little bit of a problem with pricing with them. Um, they've gotten flowers from another farm for much cheaper than we were willing to do it, but we had moved the relationship kind of to a position of we're not going to end it, but if they need us or if we have an overabundance of something, then to let us know. So lately here, they've told us that the other farm that they've worked with, they're not getting anything from them right now for the remainder of the season. And that's fine. So we've been taking some flowers to them recently. Um, Today, we need to cut 30 bouquets for them. And again, they're sold. They're already sold. So I'll show up there tomorrow with buckets full of bouquets, and she'll give me a check just for the whole thing. I don't need to wonder if they're going to be sold or anything. So that's great. So we're doing that, 30 bouquets for them. And then we have another market that's actually a large blueberry farm where people come for you pick. They also have raspberries for you pick. They have apples for you pick. So once the blueberries are done, they still have people there picking raspberries. And right now, lots of people's picking apples. And they're doing a fall festival this weekend. So we're going to be taking them 10 or 12 bouquets tomorrow. And we would expect most or all of those. Selling there, we do sell on consignment. So we sell them, bring them in for a certain price. And for whatever sells, we get most of it, and they're keeping only $2 per bouquet. So for us, it's a pretty good deal as well. We've had decent success. Some weeks are better than others. That's a case of selling bouquets or taking bouquets in, and they're not sold. So we're hoping they will sell. So weather and other things can play a factor in that. But this time of year, people want to go to farms, and with the festival they're doing, we expect that they'll sell well. Then we have a small, well, I don't know, it's actually a decent sized market in the little historic downtown area of our small town. And she runs a store that has vendors. The vendors come in, kind of the antique type store, but again with vendors, and everyone's renting booths. But she has been gracious enough to let us bring our flowers in, and she's not charging us anything. So we bring flowers in, kind of hoping or waiting for them to sell, but at the same time, um, whatever sells, she gives us 100% of that. So she's either writing us a check or a Venmo at the end of the week for that. We just brought her in bouquets earlier this week, and we'll bring more in next week. Same with the restaurant. We'll take those in next week. So we try to reserve or organize it so that we only cut twice a week. Right now we're cutting on Monday and Thursday. So on Monday we had cut everything hard. Today we're going to cut everything hard again. We, so I guess sort of recap though. So on Monday we cut for the restaurant, and we cut for that market in town, the antique store like market, and also sometimes to that big farmers market. On Thursday we cut for the blueberry farm, and we cut for the big farmers market. So through that has kept us very busy with flowers. Now that the dahlias are in just full force, looking amazing, we switch very heavily to just cutting dahlias. So right now, since the dahlias are so heavy, we could handle more, but it takes just enough time just trying to handle and manage the dahlias. So we just primarily cut that. So we want to make sure we continue to cut them hard, otherwise they'll reduce in their productivity. We're cutting them deep and hard, and that keeps them producing flowers like crazy. So we'll cut this completely bare. We're just gonna buzz them right down, completely bare this evening, and then they'll bounce back and be ready to be cut again on Tuesday. So again, in summary, we are selling all of our flowers. Very few do we sell by the roadside. And we only stock flowers on the roadside on Fridays. We call it Flower Friday. So the people in the area know when to expect flowers out there instead of having to keep it stocked all the time. But with how busy we've been, we haven't even managed to get too many flowers on the farm stand recently. So in summary, again, it's a restaurant, a big farm market, a store, and a blueberry farm. That's where we're selling all of our flowers. And some of those venues, the flowers we know are already sold. Others we're waiting and hoping they sell, but it's been pretty good. So I hope this was helpful to you. Hopefully it helped you understand where we sell them, besides just on the roadside, which can be very difficult. But yeah, if that was helpful to you, would you please be willing to check out another video, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.